These skills were never used for the 3-4 initial years. These were never used. I was in the support engineer testing basically. I was there in TCS for long 5 years. I was writing a hell lot of things from my own.
Wow.
If you'll just see.
Yeah,
I just see. I was updating my Naukri profile daily morning before 9 a.m. 4 rounds of interview, I would like to say, combining the technical as the non-technical things. If I'll put less information and I will speak more, they will ask questions on my whatever I am speaking. So that was the strategy which I have followed, and it worked for me. So in my resume, I was very specific to the stuffs.
Learn from yesterday, live in today, and hope for the tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. A very famous quote by Albert Einstein, and that is what exactly our guest speaker has done with his life. He questioned himself and he did not lose the hope, because he's someone who's coming from chemical engineering background, then worked in the testing profile, then support role, then the DBA profile, and after some time he figured out his passion for SQL, and from that point onwards he successfully transitioned into the data engineering profile, that too with Azure cloud as a tech stack. So if he has done it successfully, that means it can inspire a lot of aspiring data professionals who want to get into the data engineering profile and have no background in it, or probably coming from a different profile like the testing itself. So watch this podcast till the very end to get inspired, because he will be sharing all his experience, that how did he actually do it, what did he learn over the period of time to crack the Azure Data Engineer role, adjusting the experience and projects in the resume, surviving the 90 days notice period thing, and the interview processes, plus a lot of very important information for all of you to land into these kind of job profiles. Also, make sure to give a like in the big numbers, and if you're new to the channel, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the notification icon.
So after 14 months of long waiting period, I have launched my another complete data engineering with AWS 5.0 bootcamp, basic to advanced. This is launched and enrollments are open. Since there are very limited seats, you all know that I take the live classroom programs where teaching everything about the data engineering from basic to advanced in the live classes over the Zoom itself. So very limited seats, limited number of people in the cohort. So enrollments are started and live classes starting from 2nd of August. So admissions closing really soon. You can check the link in the description to enroll today, and you can also visit www.growdataskills.com. and if you are enrolling today only, then there is a very special discount offer code in the description. You can use it, and if you have any query, any doubt, then give us a call or WhatsApp on this given number. And you can see on your screen that what I'm going to teach everything in just 3.5 months, starting from your SQL, Big Data, Hadoop, Hive, NoSQL databases, Kafka, KSQL DB, and coming to the Spark, Databricks, Snowflake, Airflow, Spark Streaming, Data Warehousing, Data Modeling, Azure Cloud, completely end to end. All the services touching upon very important services like Azure Data Factory, Azure Synapse, Azure DevOps, and many others. Then I have added the new modules here. That is the interesting point, like Apache Iceberg, Apache Hoodie, Apache Trino, and I am going to add a very exclusive and not so revealed as of now AI flavor as well. I will be creating a very good level of industry projects where you will see the integration of AI as well, which we haven't brought in any of our bootcamp as of now for the data engineering. Because there's assignments, their solutions, interview preparation guide for every single topic we are going to teach, then live doubt support and offline doubt support in the private Discord community, and the job opportunities from our alumni network and my professional LinkedIn network itself. And you can see those results on your screen, that how our students are bagging massive job offers from all the Fortune 100, 500 companies, including Google, Salesforce, Intuit, Walmart, and many others. So now this is your chance. If you want to start your journey in the data engineering, enroll as soon as possible. Just few seats left. All right. So thank you so much, Ashutosh, for joining me in this podcast. Really excited to have a conversation about your journey in the data engineering. But before that, it would be good if you can give a short introduction to our audience, that where you are coming from, your education background, where you worked previously, and currently where you are.
First of all, hi Sasank. Thank you for the podcast. Basically, it was a dream which is getting completed now. So yeah, thank you very much for that. So as you know, my name is Ashutosh and I belong to Odisha. I have passed my BTech from a government institution, I would like to say. And right now I'm working as a Azure Big Data Engineer, and my current organization is 𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗹.
Awesome. So I know you, Ashutosh, personally as well, because Ashutosh was part of our very first data engineering bootcamp. So I have seen him personally, that how he has grown, what sort of efforts he have put in these couple of years, and how he has achieved where he is today, the data engineer in the 𝗶𝗶𝗹. So I know he's a very good source of motivation, so you'll learn a lot from him. So Ashutosh, now let's go back 5-6 years and try to start from the point zero. Share something about your college life, like being from a chemical engineering background. What were your plans and thoughts at that particular point of time, and how did you even get your first job?
So if I'll go back to that time, so when I have joined my engineering college, so there was no plan at all. And why I got selected into or got into the chemical engineer, because somebody from my family, they have decided that there is a IOCL near to my home, so he will pass out and he will try to do the job in that. So that's how I got started learning the things. But yeah, the software engineering exposure, there were no exposure to basically software engineering, because I belong to a different core background. So then after passed out, there was no planning of software engineering, but somehow I got selected in the on-campus because my aptitude was very good. And if you'll go back to that point, so there were mass recruitment, if your aptitude is good, then you will be selected. And that's how only two people were selected from my branch, and I was lucky enough to do that. But yeah, so when I have completed my learning and the joining of TCS, there were around 7 to 8 months of gap because we were not having the joining letter and all. So in between that, I was figuring out what kind of things I should learn so that I can sustain in that particular job. So I have started, for me, 𝗍𝗍 was very difficult to understand how the things were happening. So somehow I got to know about SQL, and it looked interesting to me, and I got started learning on that. And apart from that, some bit of Java, core Java I have learned. But again, when I have started working in TCS, these skills were never used for the 3-4 initial years. These were never used. I was in the support engineer testing basically, and also doing some work which my seniors are advising me to do. Tool based, non-technical, that kind of things which started.
Okay. And what was your starting salary when you joined TCS?
So everybody knows, right? Golden TCS salary is 3.36 LPA per month. And that is gross, by the way, and in hand would be around 22 to 23,000 exactly, which I was trying in my initial days.
So when you joined TCS, so how long you worked there, and what were different job profiles? And after TCS also you worked somewhere?
Yes. So I was there in TCS for long 5 years because for first initial 3 to 4 years, there was no plan, there was no motivation, there was also no actual work was being provided to me. That's why I was having a different plan, like starting a business, doing some government job, preparing for that kind of things I was doing. But when somehow after 3 years, I got some work related the SQL, and that's how my journey got started. And I started deep diving into the SQL, and I was doing a bit much stuffs on the SQL, like query optimization, writing some queries, stored procedures, triggers, all those things. And then after 5 years, regarding this, like last 1.5 year, whatever I have learned, I was able to switch to Infosys. So that's how got started, TCS, Infosys, and now 𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗹.
Now you are working as a full-time data engineer, right? Since I know your journey, you have put a lot of effort working as a full-time data engineer now. So the big question here is, how did you find your interest towards data engineering, and when this actually happened? When did you find your interest? Because prior to that, like prior to 𝗶𝗶𝗹, you were into the testing support role, database engineer. So everyone wants to know this story, that how after 6-7 long years you found your interest in it.
It's basically a sweet story, I would like to say. I have like seen good stories in your podcast, but this is how things got started. So I have told you, right, in TCS earlier 4 years, you just minus it from my total experience.
Okay.
And when I have started working on the 4th year, then I have started in the RDBMS side. Then I was very much interested in the SQL, and that's how I was learning some things from SQL and SQL from YouTube basically. So then my YouTube things started, and my very first teacher from whom I started learning SQL is you, because I only know one person who is doing some stuffs in the SQL, that is Sasank Misra, and I can clearly remember you have started a series of solving SQL questions. Each video there will be 3 questions of SQL. I will start, when the video will come, I will start solving with you, and sometimes I was solving faster than you, sometimes I was waiting for the solution. That's how I got started with a repo. Basically your teaching and my learning are and matching. I was learning very much things from you, and then I got to know that there is something called data engineering also present in the software industry. Never.
Yeah.
I got to know after, I think, COVID 2021 or 22. I got to know that there is something called data engineering present. Then when I connected virtually, I got to know that you are creating, or you are starting your own bootcamp. See, the thing is that I was learning from past 3-4 months or 6 months from you, so the resonance was very good. So immediately I enrolled in your bootcamp. Then my data engineering journey started. So if you'll ask me, whatever thing you knew before joining the bootcamp, it was zero, only at the website. And what I have learned after the bootcamp, it was hell lot of things.
So once you decided you want to continue in data engineering, what kind of step-by-step roadmap did you follow for yourself? What skills did you actually acquire? I know we covered a lot of things in the bootcamp, but personally, I want to understand from your side that there were some set of proper skill set which you emphasized a lot, and those were the actual things which helped you to crack the job.
I have already told you, right? I have never knew what are the things which was there in the data engineering side. And about the roadmap, if we'll go back to that time, I have watched your one of the video that before launching the bootcamp, there were 1 or 2 roadmap videos were there, and I got to know that these are the things which are there. And I was thinking like, okay, I only know 10% or 20%, rest 80% I don't know. Somehow I have to learn all those things. And what, in my point of view, the best way to get into a data engineering side, or whatever things you want in your life, is to follow a person who is actually doing it, or been there from the last 5 to 6 years, doing really good. And if you'll get to know about that person, and if you'll try to understand from that person, then I think that is going to be more benefit for you. And what I feel is, a good follower is going to be a good master. If you are not going to be a good follower, definitely you cannot master your own skills. So first you have to understand the right technical skills, and from whom you need to understand, and what exactly you need to do. So then I have started with the bootcamp, and in the bootcamp actually the learning started. I was very serious from the day 1 of the bootcamp, because I knew that only learning the SQL stuffs or RDBMS stuffs is not going to take me into that position like 5 to 6 years, which I am dreaming of. But these other things which Sasank is telling in the roadmap, or some person X is telling in the roadmap, PySpark, Hadoop, Spark, and all of this, if I will learn all these things, so then there is a chance. At least 30-40% chance is there to go to that direction. So I have enrolled in the bootcamp. I have started. The best part of the bootcamp was, what I feel, it was precise. If you do not know anything about the data engineering, it will start from the HDFS, Hadoop. Right now, nobody is using for the modern data engineering, which I am telling you. Because the cloud data engineering is gone to extent. But what happened, I have started with big data, Hadoop, then Hive, then Spark, then Cassandra, then Kafka, then Spark streaming, DWS, data warehousing techniques, then Airflow was there, then AWS projects were there. These are all the roadmaps or the technical things which I got. And I got to know about whole ecosystem of big data, which helped me a lot where to put focus and all. So yes, how I have learned maths, because before most of the class I was trying to do the revision whatever was taught in the previous class. I was trying to do the same stuff in my laptop. I was trying to figure it out what other things which I have learned. And the beauty of the things is, let me show you something. Okay, so this is the thing which I have taken a printout. I have never a person who was studied from the PDFs. And the best part is I was writing a hell lot of things from my own.
Wow.
If you'll just see,
Yeah,
if you'll just see, I was writing a hell lot of things in each page. This is the Spark thing which I am showing. This is Spark RTD and
This is awesome. I mean, a lot of
This is-
people don't follow this pattern
this
of
is-
learning nowadays. Yeah.
this is what, and I was trying to do some architecture diagram, because I can clearly see these are some memory calculations and all. So
Wow.
I can clearly remember in the Kafka class you were talking about an example that in Paytm we are having this many of consumers from the order sales, and they are putting their data into the Kafka clusters, then they are being consumed in some S3 or some stuff like that. Because I didn't know anything. What was the struggle for me? I have to learn the things, I have to understand, I have to create a project, then I have to showcase myself. So that's how
Yeah.
the things got like I understood it to the fully, because I was learning in this particular way. That's what.
No, this is awesome. I mean, first of all, you listed down the important skill set. That was the best thing, and you also showed the best way to learn and prepare as well, right? You are just watching lectures probably and not doing hands-on, not even taking your self notes for your understanding. A lot of people have skipped that old era of learning things like we were doing in our schools and college. So it's pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
I have everything. This is Spark. This is Kafka. Recently I was doing a POC on the Kafka. I was again revising the Kafka notes. Then this is the Airflow.
Wow.
This is Spark scenario based questions I have prepared in my Spark interview questions. This is from Kubernetes. This is from the data warehousing second class, I can remember.
Yeah.
And this is data warehousing first class only, the theory. And then I have a AWS thing. Yeah, this is for AWS.
Wow.
So-
Awesome.
So this is how I have started learning, and I was enjoying my day.
Since you had a very different background, as we discussed, like no prior knowledge in the data engineering side itself, so in your job hunting process, what kind of approach did you follow to get the interview calls and make this transition successful? Also, what all challenges did you face to get your profile shortlisted, and how did you tackle them?
Okay, so first of all, I was always wanted to be a Azure Data Engineer, but the bootcamp was the AWS Data Engineer.
Yeah.
But somehow I got to learn about these AWS things, and then I have started creating the same things in Azure, and I got to know the exposure, like how the things are happening in Azure Data Engineering. And I was specifically applying for the Azure Data Engineering position, because I was very specific in my mind. This is the thing which I have to apply, and I have to work on that. See, there is no issues with taking one particular cloud and starting master on it. If you are a master on a particular cloud, then you can work on the different cloud. And I want to do the same thing in the Azure Data Engineering side, because I was more confident on the Azure side.
Okay.
And for the job hunting process, I have followed whatever things you have told in the bootcamp. I have told you, right? There was no second way. I was knowing only one way, and I have started following that. So I have created my resume as per that, and whatever things we have told in the bootcamp, I was following that thing. Then I was updating my 𝗏cie profile daily morning before 9 a.m. and also maximum time at night also I was updating. So, and I have started also applying in some other job searching websites like Monster, Indeed, you know, if the percentage of the callback was 90% from Naukri and 10% from the rest of the things, but it was an added advantage to me. And the challenges, yes, I have faced quite a lot of challenges because I didn't have any prior experience. So to explain, see, when I am going for an interview and I am sitting for the interviewer is expecting how I can make this person work for me and how this person is going to help me in my current project for the deliverables. So to match that thing, he or she will be asking a lot of things to you regarding the data engineer. To express that, first of all, you have to be very, very solid on your project side.
Yeah.
So to have that thing, I have never worked in the data engineering side, that I know, but that opposite person didn't know about that, right?
Exactly.
So, but again, if you will only focus on the personal projects, you won't be getting that feelings how the things or big data engineering is really been used in the enterprise level. So for that, actually, I have internally switched in the 𝗍𝗲 side from a database role to the database side only, doing some reporting stuff. But the beauty was that reporting was done on the Databricks, Databricks dashboards and all. So my team were focusing on the Databricks reports. I was focusing on the data ingestion side, which some other team was doing, because I had to understand, because that was actually really interesting me.
Yeah.
It is actually real. The data ingestion side, doing 𝗍𝗶, doing stuff with the files, doing some GenAI things, how the things are happening, how ETL is happening. It was always been interesting thing to me, and that's how I got started in the data engineering side. So I started internally in that project. Then I have built my personal project. I showcased them as an enterprise project. I was ready for the cross question. Okay. That was the beauty of the things. Because I was watching the interview videos, to be very honest, from the YouTube, and seeing what other people are telling in their interviews, and I was trying to put those points in my personal project, so that I am ready. I'm ready. Whatever you ask me, I am ready for the cross questions. But yes, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But whenever I lost or I didn't, I was point blank. In many interviews, I was point blank. But I try to understand what are the things I do not know. I was trying to note it down. So there were some sort of 80 to 100 questions till my last interview. 80 to 100 questions were there which I didn't know, and gradually I have learned all those things, and it helped me. And the funny part, let me tell you, people are normally scared about the first round, that is the technical round. The second round, that is the system design round. They are much more confident on the technical round. But for me, I was very scared about the first round. System design round was very good for me, and I was more confident. And again, one thing which helped me was the industry expert sessions which were there conducted in your bootcamp, because I was trying to understand how these people are like behaving, or they are working in their current professions. So that's how it got started, and that was the challenges basically.
So I have just one important follow-up question as well. So in most of the service-based companies, notice period is 90 days. So how did you tackle that part as well, if you can summarize a bit?
See, Sasank, there are a lot of things for my job switch. If I will try to explain all those things, it will take much more time. But let me tell you, 90 days, again, it was a very difficult part for me. But somehow I got selected in my very first interview, and that helped me. That was again a service-based, and they were not bothered about the 90 days and all. So I would like to say I was lucky, and those 90 days things were never... But there are some tactics or some stuffs I have done, but that will take much more time to explain.
Yeah, cool. No, this is awesome. This is helpful. So now another important question, Ashutosh, to help all the job seekers, specifically in the data engineering. Like, can you share your complete interview experience as well with Sapient and in general wherever you interviewed? So, how many rounds were there in general at your experience level, and in each interview round, what all things they were usually asking?
Okay, so there were 4 rounds of interview, I would like to say, combining the technical as the non-technical things. So first round was basically a machine coding or online assessment kind of things, and the second was the face-to-face technical round, and it was much more important as per Sapient, because this takes the weightage of 80% of the whole process. And in that interview, there is no specific questions he has asked. So basically we have taken a particular scenario, we have started from the ground zero, and he was adding stuffs like if I will do this thing, then what will happen? If I want to do that, then what will happen? What will be the code? How we can do that? How? So there was no specific question. And basically why I have joined Sapient, because I have enjoyed this particular interview very much, this particular round, because in other interviews, people were asking me, tell me this thing, tell me that thing, tell me this thing. In this particular interview, it was never been an interview to me, it was basically a discussion. Tell me, Ashutosh, how we can make it. Tell me, Ashutosh, if I'll think in this way, or if I want to do and I have this thing, how we can achieve these things. So basically he was trying to understand whether I know the technical things or not, and if I will give him a task, whether he or she can do that thing or not. So that was very important. It was around 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours, that kind of thing. So it included both technical, system design, everything, and somehow I got cleared. Let me tell you, I never answered 100% of question. That was not the thing. I was able to answer 70 to 80%, but how? After joining Sapient, I have asked him. I have sent him a thank you note, and I have asked him. So see, I have not given you 100%. So what the interviewer was looking, how you are behaving towards a problem. What is your approach? How the things you are thinking, and basically your approach, and if that is looking good to them, they will hire you. Then
so mostly they focus on the approach, like what this guy is thinking, how he's coming up with the answers.
Yes, and if this guy is okay or ready to take some challenges or not, how he is behaving. So that kind of things he was trying to do. And then after that there was a managerial or behavioral round. So basically he was asking about the core values, some bit of the company's culture and all, and some scenario based question, but non-technical. And then the last round was the HR and the salary discussion.
This is helpful for all the folks who are at your experience level and preparing for companies like Sapient. So moving on to the next question, Ashutosh, you have discussed about your job hunting process as well, but we all know resume plays a very important role. So how did you prepare your resume for these type of job opportunities? And most importantly, how did you showcase your experience around data engineer in the resume? Because a lot of people find it difficult that I was in a different profile for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Now, how do I even put the experience in resume? So how did you do that?
Again, the answer is same. I never knew any sort of things before the data engineering. So you have given a resume of yours, Sasank Misra, I know, and that was green and black color. What you have told that you can change it as per your technical steps. So if you'll see your resume and my resume, both will looking like same. Exactly, 100% same. Only in that the words will be different, because I have just followed the same resume, because it was ATS safe as you have told, and I was specifically made it one pager, because see, for me, I never had this kind of experience. So if I'll put more information, then they will ask more questions. If I'll put less information and I will speak more, they will ask questions on my whatever I am speaking. So that was the strategy which I have followed, and it worked for me. So in my resume, I was very specific to the stuffs, and I was emphasizing on the data engineering side, and then I had put some SQL stuffs, and whatever I was doing in the testing or the support engineering, for the recruiter, I never worked in the testing.
Okay.
Because that's how I have built my aura. Because see, I was strong in my technical skills. I was strong in my project. I was ready to answer the cross questions. Then I took this decision. Otherwise, it would have been a difficult thing for me. So that's how I started with a resume. Then the personal project, I have showcased them enterprise things, and I was ready for the cross question. If any of these things are not going to work, I was ready to tell them that, hey, I really want to work in the data engineering side. I am actually I really want to work in the data engineering side. If you'll give me a chance, I am ready to do the things and that kind of things. But the funny part is that never happened.
Okay.
So either I was rejected or they selected me. So that is the thing.
No, this is awesome and smart strategy as well. You talked about like speak more rather than showing everything in the resume. So I guess this is pretty good.
Because
strategy.
if I will, I was very specific in my resume. I have never mentioned the streaming side because batch thing which I wanted to focus more. Now I am good with the batch thing, and now I can shift myself into the streaming side. So that's why I never mentioned. If I will mention the Kafka, the AWS, Azure, definitely they are going to ask me, right? And if people are asking me questions on my resume which I am not able to tell, so that is showing what kind of person I am. Because your resume is the correct reflection of what we are, right? So that's why I have made this strategy and it worked.
Awesome.
And
awesome.
yes, and one more thing, like the path or the interview things were never been easy to me. I have been to, I think, around 50 to 60 interviews.
Wow.
From that, I got selected 14 to 15 companies. The rest
That's
of the
awesome.
things I got rejected, and I am very happy with that because I'm really happy because when I have starting the interview thing, because that quarter I have started switching from October to December. January was my joining date, and if you will consider that quarter, October to December, people normally gets less calls. People start getting calls in the April or March.
Yeah, year end and all. Yeah.
But let me tell you, I was getting calls 150 calls in that particular quarter, and in that I was ready. Basically, let me finish you. I was ready to get rejected. I thought I will give 100 interviews. If I'll get selected in one interview, I will win. I was having that mindset because I need a chance to work in the 𝗲cie or data engineering side. If I'll get a chance, I know I can do a lot of things. After 1 or 2 years, the things will be different. But somehow things got very very good for me. I would like to say that's how it started.
Yeah, this is awesome. So another important question, like you came with the service based company background, right, and different job profile, having good like 6 plus 7 years of experience as well, overall IT industry experience. So at this experience level, while transitioning, how much average salary companies were willing to pay you for the data engineering role?
Yes. So right now the data engineering is booming. So if you are really planning to switch into the data engineering side, then you can ask for 100-200% hike. They will easily give you because they are getting projects related to this particular technology. But what CTC are you expecting or you will be getting? It depends upon many factors, like what is your previous salary. But some people tell that previous salary matters, but for me it doesn't matter. It just pays a 10% of weightage. But what are the skills you are having? What kind of things you can do? If I am a recruiter, if I am running my business, what you can bring onto the table for me? What kind of things I can take from you, or I can make you do the job? And if you are having some niche technology, like you are master in the Azure Data Engineering, AWS Data Engineering, or Big Data Engineering, I'm talking about. You also know some bit of GenAI or like vector embeddings, or you are doing really some good stuff in the MCP server or that kind of things, right? So definitely, I am ready to pay you 80 LPA because I know I will pay you 80 LPA, I won't be paying 2 to 3 engineers, which will be costing around 1.3, 1.4 CR.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that kind of things is going to create a differentiator. And coming to the average salary, if you are having a 7 to 8 years of experience, you are good with your skills, then your average salary will be 40 to 50 LPA. If you are having a 7 to 8 years of experience, but your skill sets are average, you will get 20 to 30 LPA. So that is what
Okay.
I think.
Oh yeah, this is awesome and very insightful. So I have just one last question to wrap up the bootcamp. Any like final words you want to say from your side, considering all other folks who are exactly in the same condition like you were 4 5 years, right? So what would you like to suggest them that how they should take forward their career and why they should not get demotivated?
See, I'm not a right person to say that, but let me tell you, whatever I have learned from my life, I can only help. Okay.
Yeah.
So if anyone from this podcast has taken is going to take a decision and is going to be successful in his life or transition into data engineering, software engineering, AI side, I will win.
Yeah.
That is what I am thinking, and I'm telling my personal experience. So first of all, you have to find your own area of interest. For me, my area of interest was SQL, because if you will give me a job to do design a page or do some backend things or API kind of thing, I may not do that, or I won't be able to do that 100%, because that is not my area of interest, or that is not looking like an interesting thing to me. But if you will just tell me, hey, I have this data, you just find the insights, I will try my best to find that insights, as well as I will give you 2-3 more insights, because that is what my area of interest is. So if you are a person who is looking like if you are a person who is trying to, you are better at designing the websites and all, and you are thinking to data engineering side, so this is a bad choice, I would like to say. If you will just switch for the money after 2 to 3 years, it will be very difficult for you, because this is not of your interest. So first of all, you have to find your area of interest and start learning on that. And how you can learn? First of all, you find a person who is already doing something in that particular field and he is successful. Right. You will find a lot of, for me, at that time, still now also in the data engineering, it is 𝗍𝗏, because I have learned from him, and it helped me a lot to understand the basics of the big data engineering, and that helped me a lot to understand the advanced thing. If my basics are not clear, so definitely advanced thing will be difficult for me. So then a person should decide like what I am learning, when I need to use that, or when I need to apply those things, why I am doing this, and what will happen if I will do that thing. So what I am learning, when to apply that, why I am learning this thing, and how to implement that. If I am very clear with the things, then the outcome will be very good. For me, I was very clear why I am learning data engineering, what I will learn in the data engineering side, when I will use what, and how the things are going to be useful for me. I was very clear, so that's why I got the result. And there are much more things, like there is no shortcut, first of all. And shortcut, you will find only shortcut when you will be master of on that field.
Yeah,
you will find the shortcut in the data engineering side than me, because you are having much more experience than me, right? So definitely you have to understand or learn the things first, then you have to shortcut. If you just think that, why I'm telling you, because if you just think that I will join this bootcamp and after bootcamp I will be a data engineer, that is not going to happen. Correct. That is only going to happen if you will put your 100% effort on the learnings, you will do the projects, you are master, you are ready for the cross questions. Yes. Now, within the span of 1 or 1.5 months, you will find a job. But to do that, because see, when I will give a practical example. When my bootcamp was over, I took time. I took one year to prepare myself, to to understand what data engineering is, to prepare my project and everything ready for cross questions. Then I have started, and when I started the switching, I got that 13 to 14 jobs. Right, these things never happened overnight. This thing took time, and it will happen. So a person should be humble, and he or she should be hungry to learn. That is what I feel. I and one more thing, what I feel, the fear is very most important thing. I feared a lot that someday my job is going to be no more because I am only working the SQL side. That's why I got transitioned into the data engineering side, and I am enjoying that. So enjoying the things is very much needed, and take ready for the rejections if you are transitioning to some whatever it's a GenAI field, software engineering or data engineering or data analyst. I was very sure that there are three different verticals of the data sides: data science, data analyst, data engineering. I was very much specifically focusing on the data engineering side, and I was okay to get rejected. And after all these things, everything was sorted. So I can help with all these things. If a person can take and implement the things, then definitely he is going to get some result.
Yep. Absolutely. And I literally like your point you mentioned. Doesn't matter how many courses you are taking. No one can spoon feed, right? They can teach you, but at the end, it's your responsibility to give your 100, 200, 300%, so that you can successfully get into what you are looking for. And that is the right way to go anywhere. Like, doesn't matter you are like watching lectures of MIT or something, but practically you are not putting your efforts to build that thing, then it's of no use. So yeah, that's good.
Also, I want to add one more point. It will be benefit for a person who is trying to understand or to learn the things. In the bootcamp, I was asking very silly questions. I can remember I was asking very, very silly questions, and actually that helped me. There is nothing to fear. You can ask, the person is there to help you. Take one person, try to learn the things to the max, follow that one person, and everything will be sorted. That's what I feel.
Yeah, yep, no, I agree. Cool. So that is pretty much you had to discuss with you, Ashutosh. So it was very insightful and enriching podcast, to be very honest, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have taken a good insight from your experience. So yeah, big thanks from my side and from entire audience that you came here and shared your wonderful experience with us.
Yeah, thank you very much. And at last, what I would like to say, this is the thing which I have earned, and so thank you very much for this.
So that is pretty much I had for all of you in this amazing podcast. I'm pretty sure you have got inspired from the Ashutosh journey, and whatever he has shared with all of you, it will be really helpful for you in your transition journey. So make sure to follow all those things consistently and with full 100% efforts. If you found it informative, then make sure to give a like in the big numbers, and if you are new to the channel, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the notification icon. Also, don't forget to enroll yourself as soon as possible in my upcoming online live classroom, complete data engineering with Azure basic to advanced bootcamp. I have already talked about it, that what we are going to do in this bootcamp from basic to advanced. So seats are filling really fast. Live classes starting from 2nd of August. So link has been given in the description, or you can visit www.growdataskills.com to enroll right now. And for my YouTube family, there is a special discount offer. That code has been given in the description as well. If you have any doubt, any query, then make sure to give us a call or WhatsApp on this given number. So enroll as soon as possible, and I will see you guys in the live classes.